So now, I'll be discussing the Unit 3.C, which is the personalities in science and technology in the Philippines, including their contributions and how they help shape our nation's development in science and innovation. So first, we have the HNRDA, or the Harmonized National Research and Development Agenda, which is firmly anchored in Ambisyon Natin 2040, and it is built upon three major pillars, mainly the Malasakit, which focuses on enhancing the quality of life and strengthening unity. We also have Pagbabago, which emphasizes inclusive growth and poverty reduction, and Kaunlaran, which highlights sustainable and progressive development. The agenda also set key objectives. First, to harmonize the country's R&D priorities so efforts are unified. Second, to avoid duplication of research across agencies and institutions, ensuring resources are maximized. And third, to strengthen the nation's R&D capability so we can build expertise and innovations for the future. So the HNRDA has
5 sectors.
Number 1 is the National Integrated Basic Research Agenda, or the NIBRA, which focuses on generating fundamental knowledge. We also have Health, which prioritizes medical and healthcare research. We also have Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources, which support food security and environmental sustainability. We also have the Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology, which enhances competitiveness and modernization. And finally, we have the Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation, which addresses resilience against natural hazard and environmental challenges. So we also have the R&D priority areas and programs. As we all know, the Department of Science and Technology, or the DOST, serve as the country's lead government institution for research and development. Over the years, the government has steadily increased its budget supposed for R&D. In 2011, the allocated budget was 1.4 billion, which grew to 3.8 billion in 2015 and reached 19.6 billion by 2019. This shows that the government's strong commitment to strengthening the research, the science, technology, and innovation sector. However, despite this increase in funding, the National Economic and Development Authority, or the NEDA, noted that the country's progress in science, technology, and innovation remains only moderate. This means that there is still much room for improvement, and further support is needed to fully maximize the impact of R&D investments. So, because of that, to address this gap, the government has rolled out key initiatives. One of these is the Patent Incentive Package, or the IPR, which help protect Filipino inventions through funding and awareness, encouraging more researchers and inventors to register their patents. Another initiative is the adoption of dietary standards by local food industries, which ensures safety, quality, and competitive in the market. So now let's proceed to the contributions in the field of chemistry. So we have Dr. Amando Capauan, in which in 1970s, he was one of the pioneers who studied the presence of heavy metals in the environment. Among this, he gave special attention to mercury, which at that time was not yet widely recognized as a major threat to health and environment. So Dr. Capauan not only raised awareness about toxic effect of mercury exposure, but he also developed equipment that could detect mercury in water, fish, soil, and other areas where it possessed danger. Through his work, he helped the country better understand environmental pollution and highlighted the importance of protecting both people and ecosystems from harmful chemicals. Next, we have the contributions in biology. First, we have Dr. Angel C. Alcala. So he is credited for discovering more than 50 new species of reptiles and amphibians in the Philippines, which greatly expanded our understanding of local biodiversity. Aside from this, he was also pioneer in marine conservation. In fact, he developed the very first artificial reef in the country, which served as model for protecting marine life and supporting sustainable fishing. Because of his groundbreaking work, Dr. Alcala received a Ramon Magsaysay Award and became a Pew Fellow in Marine Conservation, honors that highlight his impact not only in the Philippines but also internationally. Now, we have Dr. Asuncion K. Raimundo. She is recognized as an expert in microbial genetics and biotechnology, making significant contributions to the field of microbiology. Beyond her research, he also dedicated much of her career to improving science education, has mentored more than 100 students, many of whom went on to become successful scientists themselves. Because of her outstanding work and dedication, she was honored with the Outstanding Microbiologist Award, a recognition of her excellence in both research and teaching. So next we have Dr. Baldomero M. Oliveira, who is a Filipino scientist who made groundbreaking discoveries in the field of biology. He is best known for discovering conotoxins, toxins from cone snakes, which later led to the development of a powerful painkiller alternative to morphine. This was a major step forward in medicine, especially for patients with chronic pain. His research also advanced global understanding of ion channels and nervous system, areas that are vital in neuroscience. Because of these remarkable contributions, Dr. Oliveira was recognized internationally and was named as the Scientist of the Year by the Harvard Foundation in 2007. So, we also have Dr. Abelardo Aguilar. So, Dr. Abelardo Aguilar was a Filipino scientist who made a major contribution in medicine. He discovered the erythromycin, which is an antibiotic that became especially important for patients who are allergic to penicillin. So this discovery saved countless lives by providing an alternative treatment for bacterial infection. His discovery was later patented and mass-produced by Lilly and Company under the brand name Ilozone, making it widely available across the world. Lastly, we have the contributions in engineering. So first, we have Dr. Eduardo San Juan. So Dr. Eduardo San Juan is a Filipino engineer who made remarkable contribution in the field of space exploration. He is often referred to as a moon buggy inventor, and because he worked on the design and development of the lunar roving vehicle used during the Apollo mission. This vehicle allowed astronauts to explore the moon's surface more efficiently, making his contribution a key part of his space history. We also have Dr. Diosdado Banatao. So Dr. Banatao was widely known as the father of semiconductor in the Philippines. He made groundbreaking innovations in computer engineering, including the single-chip graphics user interface accelerator and the Ethernet controller chip. So these inventions became essential components that helped pave the way for the development of modern personal computer. And also, because of these inventions, the internet was widely available to our country, or became widely available. So through his work, Dr. Banato not only advanced technology worldwide but also inspired Filipinos to pursue careers in science and engineering. We also have Dr. Arturo P. Alcaraz. Dr. Alcaraz, who is honored as a father of Philippine geothermal energy. He led the development of country's first geothermal power plant in Leyte in 1977, a pioneering project that showed the Philippines could harness clean and renewable energy from its natural volcanic resources. So from 1951 to 1974, he also served as the head of Commission of Volcanology, which is known now as the PHIVOLS. So under his leadership, the institution laid the foundation for the country's volcanic and geothermal research. His work became especially significant during the 1973 oil crisis, when geothermal energy helped reduce the Philippines'
reliance
on imported oil and strengthen energy security. So that's all for my part. I will now lay the floor to the next reporter.